Greetings from Miami, Florida. We're taking the Tri-Rail here, which is a commuter train linking the three counties that encompass the South Florida metropolitan area: Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. It is our first time taking this train, by the way, and we've been living in Miami for 30 years. Also our first time seeing this area of Miami right next to the railroad tracks. Perhaps not the most picturesque.
Almost there.
Why are we doing this, you might ask? Well, our flight leaves from the Fort Lauderdale airport, a good 40 miles north of Miami.
First time taking the Tri-Rail, overall a pretty good experience, and now let's go catch a plane, a delayed plane.
By the way, even before boarding the plane, even before getting to the airport, our trip hasn't been without problems. Our flight with Norwegian is several hours delayed, so there is a good chance we're going to miss our connecting flight at Oslo en route to Helsinki.
All right. As you see, all the stores are starting to close at this time, and as a vlogger, one thing to note here in Fort Lauderdale, they make you take all your electronics out of their bags. So since I'm traveling with a lot of stuff, it was interesting. Well, Norwegian was nice enough to give us a voucher for $26, so we're gonna eat and have some drinks and we'll wait for our delayed flight here. We got meatballs and a pulled pork sandwich.
It is about 2 in the morning when our Boeing 787 Dreamliner finally arrives, and off we go. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah. More about this Dreamliner later, but one of my favorite features is this on-screen 3D representation of the flight path. You can pinch and zoom and manipulate the view, and it is a long flight, so any source of entertainment is highly appreciated. Shortly after takeoff, our nice and tasty meal arrives. That's how Norwegian calls it anyway. This first one is actually more like a snack, basically a cold sandwich, an apple juice, and cinnamon roll. Not particularly nice nor tasty, but hey, it is what it is. Airplane food, right? The second one will be better. By the way, you can also order directly from your screen. How about some champagne to celebrate? Ask and you shall receive. Time to stretch my legs by going to the lavatory, even if I don't have to. That is one dark plane. It is daytime, and one of the things I don't like about the Dreamliner is that the flight attendants have the ability to prevent you from quote-unquote opening the windows. In this particular flight, they had them all locked in the dark position. That was until I asked, and I was able to contemplate the clouds from above. That's why I paid for a window seat after all. That's Iceland down there, by the way. You see, the map doesn't lie. Another champagne, perhaps, before our second nice and tasty meal arrives, and I must admit it is much better than our midnight snack, much nicer and tastier, for sure. Norwegian is starting to redeem itself. And we see land once again. Are those wind turbines down there? We are flying over Norway now, and soon we'll be landing in Oslo, the capital. Such beautiful, rugged landscape. I just can't get over how beautiful it looks from above. It is a pretty surreal landscape, for sure. we begin our descent.
Well, to make a long story short, we lost our connecting flight here in Oslo, so we're gonna miss a day. But might as well make the best of it and try to see some of Oslo. They're gonna pay us for the hotel and all that. So here we have a pretty view of the Norwegian countryside. The room, however, is not much to look at here. Well, yeah, that was the whole room. It's only for a few hours though. And this is the minuscule bathroom. Alright. I went downstairs to ask why the air conditioning wasn't working, and they let me borrow this. There's no air conditioning.
Okay, perhaps I'm being too harsh on the hotel. We're jet-lagged and cranky. Let's have a Norwegian beer.
I think our room is that one right there. Well, I got the salmon because we are in Norway, and a beef patty, and a potato salad and a mushroom salad. Should be good.
Yeah, we may not have AC in our room, but the food at this hotel is excellent. By 8 p.m., the sun is still high in the sky. By 9, we get the resemblance of a sunset.
Good morning.
Yeah, it hardly got dark last night.
And now at 5:40 a.m., it is fully daytime here in our Norwegian abode.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see true dark nighttime for the next 2 weeks. But anyways, let's have breakfast.
Our hotel.
There are all kinds of fruits and yogurt, and well, this one doesn't look all that appetizing. Really good bread, by the way, and some more fruit. Salads, cold cuts.
Now we're talking.
Hey, they just brought out my favorite stuff. Well, bon appetit. Good nutrition for the long day ahead. We're taking the shuttle bus back to the airport so we can leave our luggage in storage and explore the city.
Well, let's find the baggage storage place.
The baggage locker is actually downstairs by arrivals, to the right, towards the end of the terminal. From 5 to 24 hours, it is 101 Norwegian kroners per bag. About $12.50, and we had 3 bags, so you do the math.
You want to take the express train?
Yes, there is an express train that takes you straight to downtown. It only takes 20 minutes, and we just missed it. Luckily, it comes every 20 minutes, so we'll just have to take the next one.
There's nobody here.
Here's our train. There is a screen with news and all kinds of info as we make our way to Oslo. It's still early, just past 8 a.m. nice architecture here. This is called the Barcode Project, and it was completed in 2016. Well, yeah, the station is nearly deserted, it being Sunday, early in the morning. I bet you this will be bustling with activity later in the day, and even more so on a weekday.
We do have to pay to go to the bathroom, but it worked.
We walk through the nearly deserted terminal towards the western exit.
Very nice. Let's go explore Oslo.
We emerge onto the railway square where they have this Ferris wheel here, probably a summer attraction. Here by the corner of the central station, there's a sculpture called Crush Nazism, and it depicts a hammer crushing a swastika. We walk by Christian Frederick's Place on our way to the harbor, where we encounter She Lies, a steel and glass sculpture that actually rotates with the winds and tides. Located here in front of the Opera House, we would love to linger around this area, explore every nook and cranny, and believe me, there is a lot to see, but our time here is extremely limited. I mean, we were not even supposed to be here in the first place, so we're gonna have to pick our battles. Wait a minute, sauna? We're not in Finland yet.
Nomadic Art Project. Open from 11 a.m.
We continue walking towards the center of town, where the city hall is located. Oh, by the way, Oslo is a city of many statues. You'll see. And obviously, the rest of the tourists are still asleep on this Sunday morning.
Say hi.
Oh no, tour bus, they're starting to wake up. By the end of the street, that's the Aka House Fortress that we'll have to visit some other time. One thing I've noticed is that many of the street lights are positioned exactly over the center of the street, perhaps for better illumination during the long, cold winter nights. Who knows? Uh-oh, are those tourists down there? We better hurry up, but first, some coffee. Here we are by the Town Hall Square, or Radhuspladsen. And as you can see, we've got more statues. And you ain't seen nothing yet.
City Hall.
There's again part of the aforementioned Ake House Fortress. We are taking the ferry to the museums. 69 kroners for a round trip, which is about $8.50, and it makes 2 stops along the way at the locations of these museums. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I'm not really much of a museum person. I mean, it depends on the museum, obviously, but there is one museum in particular here that I really want to see. Well, more than one actually, but we only have time for one. It is such a beautiful ride. Who would have known Oslo was this pretty? From this first stop, Dronningen, you can walk a short distance to the Norwegian Museum of Cultural History, Norsk Folkemuseum, and also the Viking Ship Museum, Vikingskiphuset, which is actually one of the ones that I really wanted to visit, but as I said, we have to pick and choose one here. And as much as I would like to see the Viking ship, you have to walk about a mile round trip uphill, and I am much more interested in another museum located at the very next stop. So we'll save this one for another time. Now that I've been to Oslo by chance, I really want to come back intentionally next time. Let's continue to the next stop. It is a huge marina, and those hills in the distance kind of remind me of Sausalito, California. Don't know why. And here we are, Bygdøy's Point. There are three main museums here. The Maritime Museum, the Fram, which features the history of polar exploration, and Fram, which was the world's strongest wooden ship, and the museum we actually came to see basically because I read the book and saw the movie about this explorer Thor Heyerdahl, who crossed the Pacific Ocean on a balsa wood raft. This piece of art here by sculptor Thor Sandborg is called Sea Flower, a gift from Vietnamese boat refugees to the city of Oslo, as thank you for being rescued at sea. And here's a memorial to the Norwegian seamen who served during World War II. It is very beautiful and serene out here. Here's a statue of the great explorer Roald Amundsen and his team, the first one to reach the South Pole in 1911 and also the North Pole in 1926, making him the first person in history to reach both poles. This lighthouse here, made out of garbage collected from the ocean, was built here by an environmental organization called Ocean Hope. Let's check out what we came to see, the Kon-Tiki. It was on this raft that Norwegian explorer Thor Heyerdahl sailed from Callao, Peru in 1947 across the Pacific Ocean in order to prove his theory that people from South America could have settled Polynesia in pre-Columbian times. 97 days they navigated the ocean aboard this raft. Ever since I read about this story as a young child, I have been fascinated by it, and we recently watched the 2012 film based on the footage from the original documentary, so that rekindled my curiosity about Thor's legendary expedition. That's why I was so bent on seeing this museum. The original documentary, by the way, won the 1951 Oscar for Best Documentary Feature. They have a lot of artifacts on display all around the raft. They do have a room where they show parts of the original film.
They were accustomed to sharks, but one day a specimen of extraordinary proportions visited. It was the rare whale shark.
It is the largest living species of fish. And yeah, they have a representation of that one too, to scale. Here's the rat 2, which was a boat made of papyrus that he sailed from Morocco to Barbados, proving the possibility of contact between the Mediterranean and the Americas, prior to Columbus's discovery. Yeah, all of a sudden Columbus seems much less important. I had actually never heard of this expedition before. By the way, this is the second boat, hence the name Ra-2. The first one sank due to inadequate construction. Here we have some cave stones from Easter Island. I mean, there is so much to see here, so many artifacts brought back by Thor from all his expeditions. Fascinating stuff, but it is time to go. The rest of Oslo awaits.
Well, here we are. We just visited the Kon-Tiki Museum, which was almost a bucket list item for me here in Oslo. And now we're gonna go back to the city and try to go to that park with the statues that is also very, very famous here. We only have a few hours here in Oslo. I wish we had time to explore more, but I mean, we weren't even going to come here originally in the plan, so there you go. At least was something.
And our boat is here. Cool. This is a different boat from the one that we came in earlier. We only have time for one more thing here today, and that's Vigeland Park. And we still have to figure out the public transportation system and all that. Well, the city is certainly waking up, and since it is one of the first warm days of the year, you can tell these Norwegians are ready to defrost after the long winter. We actually decided to splurge and take an Uber since we are kind of running out of time here. We encounter a lot of traffic by the Royal Palace, so I don't really know how much time we are really saving. But we would have wasted some time anyways buying the tickets, figuring out the machine and all that. Besides, we got the nice experience to be able to talk to a local.
Here we are at Vigeland.
Although it is officially called Frogner Park, nowadays even Google has it listed by its more popular name, Vigeland Park. Particularly this area with all the sculptures. There are 212 sculptures here, all designed by Gustav Vigeland over the course of 20 years. There we have the fountain, and the park's most popular attraction, the monolith, located at the park's highest point. Here's looking back towards the entrance. I don't know what it is, but there is something fascinating about all these sculptures. Let's go up to see the monolith. Obviously the most touristy spot in the whole park. Over 14 meters tall, the granite tower is composed of 121 human figures, rising towards the sky. It took 3 masons 14 years to complete it.
I would love to continue exploring, but unfortunately this is all the time we have left here in Oslo. As I said, we weren't even supposed to be here. The only reason we're here is because we lost our connecting flight to Helsinki, but actually serendipitously I'm in a way glad we did, because I got to see a little bit of this city, the Norwegian capital, Oslo. Now we've got a plane to catch, so time's up. Let's go to the airport.
Ooh, an old-style telephone booth.
Telephone.
Okay, let's look for the bathroom. And off to the airport we go. So much pollen in the air. Here's a statue of the sculptor himself, full of bird poop. We are going to take a tram back to the central station. And that's not the one. This is the one. By the way, there is a machine at the stop where you can buy the tickets. And to find the correct route, Google Maps is actually surprisingly good at figuring that out. And we've made it back to Central Station. Much more livelier now, compared to this morning.
In the nick of time, we're gonna make it. Well, we're back at the Oslo airport. We're gonna pick up our bags and then catch a plane to Helsinki. Yeah, Norwegian is all the way on the other side of the airport. Well, we're finally here at the Oslo airport. I'm having a Ostman IPA. And I'm having a reindeer wrap and she's having a beef wrap. And everything is super expensive here, even with the voucher that Norwegian gave us. Anyways, see you on the other side.
An hour later, we are landing in Helsinki, where we are going to meet up with my friend Petteri. We're going to pick up our European motorhome. We'll explore Helsinki for one day and then off we go on our Nordic adventure. The journey is just getting started, so stay tuned. My videos are made possible in part by the support of viewers like you, so do me a favor, if you liked it, share it with your friends, spread the word. And for more options, go to travelingrobert.com/support. As always, thank you so much, and see you on the road.